Hello, everybody. This is Bennyhillz back with another vintage cube draft. And this one, I'm not recording audio live, so I'm sorry if that bothers you. I recorded my screen while doing this a long time ago, like several months ago, and I don't really remember anything about the draft, so we're sort of going to be discovering it together. Let me know if you really don't like this format, and I'll try to avoid it going forward, but there are some videos where it's either this or nothing. So, yeah, we'll hop right on in. This pack is pretty excellent. There's Black Lotus, Mock Sapphire. I mean, two pieces of power is obviously amazing. Channel, Kiki Jiki, and Exhume are also like solid first pickable cards, I think. But definitely going to go with Black Lotus here, I would hope. All right, good. Past me was Wise. All right, now we have Emery. There's Deceiver Exarch, Wooded Foothills. Emery Black Lotus is really good. And then Vampiric Tutor, which can find the Lotus. Honestly, Vamp might be the best pick here. I think it's between Vampire Tutor and Emery, but I'm leaning towards the Vamp. Yeah. All right. Looks like I agreed back then that seemed like a good pick. All right. Here we have Inquisition of Kozilek, Dark Ritual, Chrome Mox. Those are really the ones I'm looking at. Derogatory Speaker is also good, but I think these are better. This could be a Storm start. I mean, Black Lotus is absolutely at its best in Storm, and Dark Ritual is a really, really strong card. Yeah, seems like a pretty good pickup. Although Chrome Mox does help fix colors, but I still think Dark Ritual is like, it immediately makes 2 mana. I think it's better with like Yawgmoth's Will, so I think it probably is a little bit stronger. And it also helps to continue cutting black. All right, this looks like a pretty easy brainstorm here. I love Gideon, Pack Rat, Hero's Downfall are like okay, Venture's pretty good, but Brainstorm is great for this sort of deck. Hopefully we can get some fetches to pair with it. There's like you really number one thing you need is mana generation, and number two thing you need is like stuff to smooth your draw if you're trying to play Storm, and Brainstorm really helps to smooth and dig towards that acceleration. Okay, here we have Lotus Bloom and Dark Petitioner, the two Storm cards. At this point, it is looking like we're pretty stormy, so I think it is between those two. Um, Dark Petition is probably that's actually really close between those two. Looks like we're going to the Petition here. That makes sense, I think. We already do have the Black Lotus. And also I do think Lotus Bloom is slightly more likely to come around. Alright, this looks like a pretty easy Impulse. Emrakul is good. It's a nice thing to Mind's Desire into, but Impulse is very strong, it's cheap, it helps cut blue. Yeah, we'll go with the Impulse here. Oh, what? All right, if I don't agree with that pick at all. I don't know why we took the Emrakul over the Impulse there. I definitely think we should have taken Impulse. But it is what it is. Now we have Lion's Eye Diamond, Cabal Ritual, Thirst for Knowledge. I mean, we could take. That's actually really close. We don't have Yawgmoth's Will or something like that yet, so that might make the Cabal Ritual a bit better. They both make mana. We also don't really have many blue cards at all. If we ended up with like Mono Black Storm. I think I like taking the. I guess Thirst for Knowledge is also reasonable. We don't have that many artifacts, but yeah, I think Cabal Ritual makes sense here. Ooh, that's a late Baleful Strix. That seems pretty good. I mean, it's very likely we'll end up in blue-black. We don't have much blue yet, but we're hoping to get some blue in the next pack. Trinket Mage can find the Lotus. Bloodchase Thirst is good interaction, but I think Trinket Mage is better for this sort of deck. And hopefully you can pick up like one more card to find with it. Oh, nice. Emery came back around. That's excellent. So right now, Emery casts Black Lotus and Baleful Strix and may get better. Now he can take a Brawl. That's pretty sweet. It's actually not great with our current build, but it's like great with Cabal Ritual, and it definitely can become really good if we get a few more it's good with like Impulse type stuff. Not much for us here. Pack Rat can be an okay sideboard option though. I mean, first of all, it's possible we still end up in like some sort of control deck, and second of all, um, Pack Rat can be sort of interesting sideboard option. Oh wow, Impulse came around. Okay, well that really went well then. Can we get the last pick? Oh my gosh, we got it. The last pick, Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's go. All right. This deck is looking amazing, actually. I'm very excited to see how this goes. So here we have Mind's Desire, Mind Slaver, Mind Tribal. Ulamog is good. We could take like Mind's Desire, try and wheel Ulamog, or vice versa. And then Coalition Relic is just a great card. I kind of like taking Mind Slaver here to pair with the Emery. That is a nice combo. This pack actually has so many different things that would be good for us. Man. Yeah, I actually have no idea what the correct pick is here. Looks like we're going with Ulamog. I guess the plan is, yeah, Ulamog try and wheel Mind's Desire, and then Mind's Desire into Eldrazi. That's a solid plan. Oh man, now we have to decide between Jace, Shallow Grave, Watery Grave, and Mystical Tutor. Looks like we're going Jace. I think that makes sense. Watery Grave is great, but Jace is amazing, and we have Black Lotus to play it on turn 1. Oh, okay. Well, there's the Brain Freeze. That is pretty awesome. Scarab God, Mesmeric Fiend, Daze, all reasonable options, but definitely taking the Brain Freeze here. We could use a draw 7, or just like some card draw in general. We really don't have that much card draw. Okay, there's Fallen Shinobi, Urza, Ancestral, Breeding Pool. We actually have a surprisingly high creature count, but I still think Shinobi's not going to be at its best here. Probably makes sense to take Ancestral or Urza. And maybe Urza. Urza, like, paying 5 for Urza, and then casting, like, Ulamog is really strong. Although Ancestral does draw cards, and we do need card draw, like I said. One other cool thing about Urza, though, is that you can then tap your, like, Baleful Strix or your Lion's Eye Diamond for mana. Yeah, that probably is worth it. Okay, now we have... There's an Empty the Warrens, but I think we're fine on win conditions. Dark Confidant is sketchy with the Eldrazi, but it's a great card. And then Click is just, like, good, cheap interaction. I think Click makes sense. The Bob is just a little bit too risky when you have a 13-drop and a 10-drop in your deck. Yeah, we can probably take the pack right out of here. Probably we could cut Baral, although I guess we'll see. Yeah, Baral is probably not great, but we will see what we end up with. Oh man, Deluge and Spell Pierce are both amazing. Solemn Simulacrum and Seagate Stormcaller are also fine. I think I like taking the Deluge here. We already have Vampiric Tutor to find it, and having 2 copies of a Board Sweeper is really nice. Spell Pierce is a better card in general, but I think Deluge will help this deck more, because fast creature decks will be a problem. Ooh, Tinker is interesting. We don't have any big artifacts yet. We do have 3 cheap artifacts to sacrifice and Trinket Mage to find them, and Urza Mage artifacts. So I think I like just taking the Tinker here, speculatively. I mean, we're not missing out on much by passing, like, Murderous Rider or something. I think Murderous Rider is a great card, but it's not at its best in this sort of deck. Gilded Lotus is okay, but it's a little bit expensive. I think we should take the Tinker here. Okay, cool. Hopefully we can pick some top end to combo with that. Okay, here we have Masterminds, Acquisition, and Dig Through Time are really the options. I think Dig is a solid amount better. Masterminds Acquisition is just a bad tutor. I guess Tezzeret can find Black Lotus, but I think it seemed like a pretty good Dig Through Time deck. We need some card draw. We have a lot of cheap spells. Yeah, that seemed like a great pickup for us. I think this deck might like Dig Through Time even more than Treasure Cruise. Okay, Thassa's Oracle is interesting, but I think we definitely want the Mind's Desire here. That seems pretty excellent. Alright, now it's... I don't think Shallow Grave is great, so we probably should take the Kitesail Freebooter. That can help clear the way, get rid of any counter magic or stuff like that. Alright, Scarab God is an interesting alternate win condition that can just win the game on its own sometimes. I guess Putrid Imp, not really going to play that. I guess we could take Empty here, but not really important. Alright, so what are we looking for? Still could really use a draw 7. We do have 23 spells here. There are only 2 packs. So that's pretty sweet. Maybe a little bit more mana and a little bit more just like turbo card draw would be good. But yeah, this deck is actually looking very strong. I'm excited to see how this plays out. I don't really play Storm that often, and when I do, I don't often play well, but I think this does look like the sort of Storm deck that could definitely get there. Alright, what do we have here? There's Entomb can find... Oh, Bullet. We gotta take the Bolas Citadel, right? We have Tinker. I would love Demir's Signet. Entomb has some synergies. Gush is okay. Bribery is just a great card, but Bolas' Citadel is genuinely great for this deck. So now I would love to get one or two more cheap artifacts to enable that. We need to make some cuts here. I think we could cut the Scarab God. We could probably cut the Baral, maybe the Freebooter. There's a Grizzlebrand. I think we just got to take the Creeping Tarpet, though. We have such bad fixing. Fractured Identity is the best card here, but can't really play that. So we'll snag that Tarpet. Walking Ballista is interesting. Tolarian Academy, I think, is probably not quite good enough, but Ballista we can search up with Trinket Mage and also sacrifice to Tolarian Academy. Spellseeker is okay. I don't think we need the Board Sweeper since we already have the Toxic Deluge, so I think Ballista looks the best. And then Basalt Monolith doesn't really help us. We're not ramping into like 8 drops, we're ramping into like 10 drops, and it's just hard to get to that much mana. Oh, whoa. I don't like that pick. I think we should have taken the Ballista there. I think enabling Tinker is a really high incentive when you have Bolas' Citadel in your deck, especially when you're playing Storm. This does really set us up very well against creature decks, which is good because creature decks could be a bit of a struggle for these sorts of decks if they're applying a fast clock. But I don't think we should. I think that was the wrong pick. Okay, gotta take Ponder here. That is excellent. Dismember's okay, but we're already well insulated against creature decks, like I just said. And Ponder's just perfect. It's cheap. It can dig towards our things. It adds 1 to the storm count. It sets up Bolas' Citadel nicely, so couldn't really ask for a better card than that here. All right, here we have, is that Signet, Imperial Seal, and Lotus Petal? I think I like taking the Petal here, actually. It's better when you have draw 7s, but it enables fast Tinkers, and it's another 0-drop to search up with the Trinket Mage. Trinket Mage is becoming legitimately great in this deck. Yeah, that seems like a good pickup. Ooh, wow, this is close. Memory Jar, Commit Memory, and Preordain are all phenomenal, but I think it makes sense to take the Preordain here. As good as those other cards are, Preordain is just, like, helps with the consistency so much. Now it's Repeal versus Sphinx of the Steel Wind, really. Looks like we're going to the Repeal. There's a solid argument for Sphinx as, like, a sideboard option to tinker into, but I think that makes sense to take Repeal. And now easy Counterspell, that's a great pickup. And now probably Gush. Gush seems okay here. Bone Trader and Maze of Ith are both good against creatures, but we don't really need more anti-creature stuff. Now we can take that. I guess take... Academy seems sort of bad here. I think I would lean towards taking Spellseeker. Although Spellseeker isn't even going to make the cut, really. And I don't think Batterskull is great either. None of these cards are really going to be playable, but I guess, yeah, sure. Tolarian Academy, there we go. Nothing for us here. All right, so looks like we're not going to be getting any late pickups, but that's fine. We have a really, really strong start here, I think, or like just strong deck. We need to make a couple cuts. I think, yeah, Deluge makes sense to take out. No need for that Ashen Rider. We still have 32 cards. Jeez, we need to make a lot of cuts here. Oh, we got the last big Sphinx. All right, well, Tinker Plan is back online against aggressive decks. Okay, so yeah, Scarab God, don't need that. Don't need the Baral. Now it gets harder. We could cut the Freebooter and then bring it in against decks that have counter magic. Click is just like a much better Freebooter, though, basically. Dark Petition is a little bit sketchy. It's just pretty expensive. All of the 1s are amazing. All of the 2s other than Kitesail Freebooter are definitely uncuttable. 3s all look good. I guess Tinker could be dicey, but it's probably still worth it. The upside is just so high. Repeal, yeah, seems a little bit replaceable. I think Dig Through Time is worth playing. Emery is so good with Black Lotus, but it also does help us enable the Tinker. Man, this is really tough. I guess we could cut the Urza. We could also just cut the Tinker package. But Bolas' Citadel can just win the game on its own. See, so we need right now we'd be playing 14 lands and 3 other 0 mana sources. That's not quite enough. Honestly, we could go Lion's Eye Diamond. We don't have that many ways to use it. Although I guess it is good with Tinker. Okay, yeah, Cut and Click I think seems okay. And then Dig, yeah, alright. I can get behind that. And then this is 16 lands plus some other mana sources and a pretty low curve. The mana fixing is pretty bad. Also, I think Tolarian Academy is pretty sketchy. Tolarian Academy is a little bit sketchy in this deck. I honestly think this was a mistake to play it. So we did run this build, and I think this is a fine way to build it, but Tolarian Academy is probably just worse than an island here. So I think that was a mistake. We'll see how that impacts us in the gameplay, but it's not an indefensible decision. I think it is it has the potential to be pretty good. So yeah, this is the deck we run. I'm excited to see how it goes in round 1. All right, here we are for round 1 against Once Go, and we're on the draw with a great hand. Who said Tolarian Academy was bad in this deck? I knew it was a slam dunk. Ooh, okay, Faithless Looting. I'd rather see that than Goblin Guide. Pop myself up into the top for y'all, and then see they discard Frost Titan Mountain. Okay, so some sort of Izzet deck. This was just it's close. We could have gone Artifact Academy and then held up Impulse, but this does let us have a higher storm count the turn that we go for it, so I think this probably makes sense. Wow, opponent's got a lot of colors over there. Frost Titan and 4 non-blue mana sources. So we'll Impulse. Ooh, Tinker. We can just Tinker for Citadel right here. That seems like it's got to be worth it. Urza is interesting. Actually, it's a good draw. So we could go Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Academy, Urza, Tinker. Can we do all of that? That would be... No, I don't think we can do all that. I think we just go sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond to grab the thing with Tinker. So we want to cast the Petal, cast LED, play the Academy. Academy taps for 2, so we have access to 5 mana this turn. Tinker, grab Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, interesting. I guess actually it makes sense to sack the Lotus Petal because we have the Urza, which combos with the Lion's Eye Diamond. Yeah, I think that actually does make sense. What is this? Opposition Agent. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, we got. That is brutal. That is truly brutal. I think it's worth it to concede here so they don't see our deck. That hurts. Wow. Really did not see that one coming. Maybe I should have. Oof. All right. So playing against some sort of weird 4-color mid-range deck with Opposition Agent. Deluge deals with Frost Titan and Opposition Agent pretty well. Stuff that searches the library looks worse, which is Trinket Mage and Tinker. Okay, I think this makes sense. Cutting the Tinker package against Opposition Agent. So we can bring all that out, then bring in just something solid cards like Dig, Repeal, Click. Seems good. Alright, sweet. We'll run it like this and hopefully have a little bit more luck. Oh, Scarab God, I guess. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, Scarab God is good against Frost Titan and good against Faithless Looting, and I do think being all-in Storm seems a little bit riskier here. And then, yeah, Lion's Eye Diamond is worse. I'm not sure I agree with that call, actually. I think I would have rather have Kitesail Freebooter than the Pack Rat, but we'll see. Pack Rat can just win the game on its own, so it might really put in some good work here for us. All right, on the play. Oh, what? Wait, did we not cut the Tinker? Wow, that's a little bit embarrassing. So Tinker just does nothing here. Yeah, that's pretty much just a dead draw. So you hate to see that, but I mean, yeah, that's just bad. I'm sorry about that. So we go Island Go. And now we really, really do need to draw one more land. If we can, okay, Preordained, that should do it. So Preordained looking for ideally a swamp, but any land would be good. Sweet, 2 lands. So We'll keep those both, play the swamp, and pass. Entomb. Okay, so we can't search our library, but you can search yours? That does not seem fair. Ashen Rider. Well, this is not really the start we wanted to have. So that's, yeah, they get to take out one of our lands. I actually hope they hit the island. They probably will hit the island. Okay, sweet. We can play the Baleful Strix here. So island Strix, and then if they attack, I might just block. I don't love that though, especially because they could just reanimate another thing. That was a misplay. I was just on F6 there, which I think made sense given our information set. But we could have played Black Lotus and held up Counterspell. On the other hand, I sort of hope we just need to hope that we need to basically hope they don't have a bunch. Like if we're losing our Black Lotus, I don't think we're winning the game either way. Okay, so drawing an island there is nice. We could play Mind's Desire for 2, but I think what we want to do here is just wait as long as possible and then try and fire off Mind's Desire for 4 and win with that. I mean, we could hit Ulamog or something and that would win the game pretty much on the spot, I think. So it looks like they might not even be playing blue. They might just be Jund Reanimator, and Frost Titan is one of their Reanimator targets. Going down to 10. Don't love it, but it is what it is. Ren 6. That's worth countering, I think. That can kill the Baleful Strix and also set up their mana better. Or, sorry, it can kill our... Yeah, it can kill the Baleful Strix. So, if we don't draw... another tutor, wow. Alright. If we don't draw land, I think we just play Gush. I mean, we could just go Gush, hope to hit another thing, Black Lotus, Mind's Desire for 4 potentially this turn. But we also could just wait one more turn. Opponent is down to 1 card, but they know that they're drawing a good card. Brainstorm, alright. That is interesting. I think we do want to start with a Gush here, and then just make our move this turn. We can actually play... Yeah, this actually seems... Oh! Now we can just play Jace. Okay, that was a misplay. I think we should have just played the Jace there. But it worked out, because we have Dark Ritual, so we can actually play a pretty big Mind's Desire this turn. And I do think it's nice to go for it now, since we know they're drawing a good card, and I really don't want them to, Mind Twist us or something. So, play Solarian Academy. Oh my gosh, that was a huge misplay. So we should have just had 1 extra mana. It probably won't matter, but it is unfortunate. Although, it actually almost definitely won't matter. So now we play Mind's Desire for 5. And we have a decent chance of hitting something here. Brain Freeze would likely kill them. And either... Oh, well, there's Ulamog right off the bat. That's pretty sweet. So the old turn 5 Ulamog, I guess that's good. Nice. That's a misplay on their part. They definitely should have just... They should have just seen more of our deck. There's no reason to concede there, but I'll take it. Alright, so on to game 3, their Reanimator. Does that change anything? Well, definitely cut the Tinker. That seems like a good thing to take out of here. I think Freebooter makes the most sense here. Survives Renin 6 and it disrupts their Reanimator combo. Lotus Petal is also defensible in the draw. Actually, that seems reasonable. Oh man, I also can't believe we're still playing the Tolarian Academy here. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense to leave the Trigger Mage in, but I think Academy cutting the LED, I don't think playing Tolarian Academy makes much sense here at all. And there it is, being bad. But the hand seems okay. I guess it's not great. Yeah, maybe, yeah, that probably makes sense, actually. Oh, having both of the Eldrazi in the opening hand is not what we wanted to see here, but we can keep and put 1 back. Having Black Lotus is really, really good. That makes hands just significantly better. It's a pretty close call between those two there. I think it makes sense to put back Ulamog because Emrakul generally is going to be cheaper to hardcast, but I could see an argument on either side there. Polluta Delta. I wish we had a Polluta Delta. We'll see if they're actually playing blue now. We haven't seen any blue cards other than Frost Titan. Looks like there's no blue. Oh no, are they going to Thoughtseize us? Thoughtseize taking Black Lotus would be a little rough. Okay, Imperial Seal. Yeah, this is not looking great. Oh, looks like I had to leave for a little bit in the game. All right, there we go. So we'll play an island and pass back. Having 2 islands for Gush is nice. Not like, I mean, we're a long way away from doing very much, but hopefully they are as well. Interesting. They just went Imperial Seal Go. That's strange. Brain Freeze is a sort of funny draw since we know they have Empire Tutor. We could just use Brain Freeze to like mess them up, but we also don't really want to just like put stuff into their graveyard for them. Okay, no play and not even a land from the opponent. So I thought we weren't doing much, but all of a sudden things are looking a little bit better for us. Inquisition of Kozilek. Okay. They'll probably take the Lotus here. I still think it's correct to not play the Lotus. For one, we hadn't even seen the Inquisition, but even if we had, saving it for Storm is pretty good. One extra Storm can matter a lot when you're playing Mind's Desire in your deck. And I mean, even if you're just playing Brain Freeze, that can be enough to put you over the edge. The scariest thing would be if they took Toxic Deluge, because that means they would have some creatures that can put in some good work, but I'd be very surprised if that's what happened. Alright, they take the Black Lotus. No real surprise there. We draw another land, which is fine. I'm pretty happy to draw land. I mean, they're not really doing anything, so if we can just keep on putting lands into play and, like, setting up to hardcast this Gush, that seems solid. Entomb. Okay, that's a little scary. Hopefully they don't have anything better than Ashen Rider. Grizzlebrand is better than Ashen Rider. Their life total is pretty low. Okay, yeah, this is bad. We could Brain Freeze ourselves here, but I don't think that's correct. We'll just let them get their Grizzlebrand. They know about the Brain Freeze, which is a little bit sad, but them drawing cards here does mean that we don't need as much of a storm count for Brain Freeze to be lethal. Okay, just playing Library is good for us. So we can kill the Grizzlebrand by playing a Deluge for 7 here. That's probably the right play. We'll see what they discard. Okay, no more reanimator targets in the graveyard. We could also just let them hit us for 7, but I think it's worth it to kill their thing here. Just play this, and then leaving up mana for Counterspell. They can't pay 7 life again, so they have a lot of cards, but they don't have a lot of mana, and so they're not that close to killing us, I think. Golgari Signet. Okay, that is not scary. Their deck is weird. Like, this draw looks very reanimatory, but then they're playing random stuff like Signets. Okay, Ponder is pretty nice. We can still hardcast Gush if we want to. Oh, wow. The Scarab God making a copy of Grizzlebrand seems very good. I think we want to cast... It's actually really close between Jace and Scarab God this turn. I think I'm leaning towards Scarab God because Jace we can use to bounce something if they reanimate something. Alright, looks like old me agrees with that consideration. So we can cast the Scarab God. Now they really have to make something happen this turn, or else we can reanimate the Grizzlebrand and we'll definitely win from that position. So they have to reanimate this turn, but then they reanimate, they can't pay life, and we can play Jace and bounce it. And then, honestly, I mean, Scarab God is almost a lethal attacker. They really are low on life here. Okay, Liliana's Triumph is a good answer there. That's a really good play for them. We do get the Scarab God back, but that just doesn't really matter. It buys them a lot of time. Although at the same time, the game going longer generally does favor the player with Brain Freeze in their hand. So if they're just reacting to what we're doing and not actually doing something proactive to kill us, that's a winning position for us in the long run. Four mana, what you got? Sneak attack. Oh man, that's bad. Alright, what do you have here? Ashen Rider to blow up our lands. Okay, Massacre Worm is not that bad. I mean, it does hit us down to 7, but that's not... It does no lasting impact. So we draw our Jace. Couple options here. We could just go for Gush and try and kill them this turn. I kind of think that's the right line since it seems very likely that they can win if they untap with a sneak attack in play and a Faithless Looting in the yard. Yeah, I think this was a bad play. It looks like we're playing Jace, but I think we should play Gush here. Although I guess we could play Jace and still brainstorm and stuff. We'll see. So now, yeah, okay, good. Good to see the Gush there. So we do that. And then brainstorm, hoping to hit Black Lotus. Okay, that's actually really good hits. So we can put back 2 lands. We have not played land yet this turn. Oh, we should have put Emrakul into the deck because we could hit that off Mind's Desire potentially. So we can play that. Then brainstorm. Wait, oh, that was another sloppy play. Although it actually just doesn't matter at all. Yeah, we already have the brain freeze, so we're good to go. Yeah, I was overthinking that a little bit. Yeah, that just mills them for all of their cards. They can put something into play in their upkeep before drawing, but they can't kill us that way. So pretty sweet. Wow, I really thought we were gonna lose that match when we had a pretty bad hand after getting crushed in game 1 to the opposition agent. But here we are. We're 1-0, and I'll see you in round 2. All right, here we are for round 2 against C. Henry CG67. We are on the play with an excellent hand. I mean, a good hand. Having Ulamog and Emrakul is not really what you want, but we have good mana and some cheap plays, so that's nice. I like the island, but I don't like the rest, so I think we want to shuffle that. Drawing Brain Freeze was not great, so what looked like a solid hand is quickly deteriorating. Ooh. Well, Mox Ruby's scary, but no play after that I like. Tolarian Academy was not really what we wanted to see, although I guess it's better than like an expensive spell. Swamp, sweet. So we can just hardcast Emery here. Hopefully we hit a Lotus. Alright, not really what I wanted to mill over there, although it does fuel our Emrakul a bit. Okay, we have 4 card types in the graveyard, so we're still a very long way away from Emrakul. No land or anything from them. That is nice. So we play land, go. If we drew Black Lotus, could we cast Emrakul? We would have 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we could. So that'd be our best draw. Dak Faden. Okay. I don't love that, but it does loot through their deck, so it does mean that we need a smaller Brain Freeze count to win. Also, from what they've seen, we're not Storm at all. These are all very normal cards for like a blue control deck to be playing. Incinerate and Phantasmal Image. I'm actually happy to see the Phantasmal Image go because that's pretty good for copying our big boys. So opponent loots. Yes, go through those cards. Just wait until this Brain Freeze kills you. Having Counterspell available here makes me feel a lot safer. Frost Titan Abrade. Okay. So they're not an aggressive deck, despite the Mountain Mox Ruby start. Okay, drawing a land there is good. I would rather an island, but I'll take this. The reason an island would be nice is because then we could go like Counterspell plus Brain Freeze if they play a few spells on their turn. Plus some bluffing value of just like, they might think we have another like Remand or something. Down to 21 cards. Alright, still no play. This seems like an okay holding pattern to me. Gush is a nice draw. I think we do want to... Oh, interesting. Actually, I guess it makes sense not to play it. I was thinking we want to play it now because we want to play our land drop for the turn, but that doesn't really matter. We can hardcast Gush end of turn. Oh, also, actually, we definitely didn't want to play it on our turn because then we couldn't hold up Counterspell. Hopefully they don't play anything. Alright, sweet. We can just play our Gush now. Alright, drawing more lands, I'm fine with that. And a cheap spell that can aid Storm. Alright, I really think this is going to be hard for our opponent to win. Oh, wait, do we have enough mana to do something big here? No. We're 1 mana shy of being able to play Emrakul. But next turn, I believe we can. We'll have 7 mana, Dark Ritual is net +2. We could brainstorm to hide a card, but I think I'd rather just counterspell this. They're down to 15 cards in library, so it really won't take much to brain freeze them out. And they don't look like the kind of deck that would have an Eldrazi. They could still be playing Through the Breach or Sneak Attack, but I think we would have seen, like, they have a lot of normal win conditions, so I don't think they're doing that sort of thing. All right, so we'll just untap again. Ooh, Jace. Oh, no, we should just play Emrakul. That's definitely the correct play here. We can use Dak to make them discard their best cards, even if they counter the Emrakul. Boom. Wow, that's we've done pretty much nothing the entire game, but they also haven't, and then we can just play one card that wins on its own. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Mana drain, so we're gonna get 13 mana to work with on their turn. That's pretty sweet. Snapcaster Mage, Bolt us, sure. We're at a very high life total. I'm not worried about getting cheesed out with like random 2-1 beatdown. Oh wow, they have a lot of counter magic. Okay. That is good to know about. So we will loot. Hopefully draw a cheap spell that we can play and then just counter with their own stuff. Okay, so we can discard. Yeah, we can discard Remand Force and then just play Treachery and Mana Leak it. That seems good. That leaves them with pretty much nothing. We'll do that, and we're a bit constrained on colored mana, but we have plenty of colorless mana, so no need to worry about that. And now I actually think we do want to play land here, just so they can't loot away extra lands. Yeah, I would probably play mountain here. I think that's the correct play. Nice. Then no attack, of course, and we'll pass back to them. They have 12 cards. They've gone through a bunch of win conditions. It's going to be really, really hard for them to win this game. We might not even need this brain freeze, but we do have it just in case. Okay, well, here's a lot of mana, so Muldrifter, all right. Their deck is sweet. It actually looks very, very good. Good counter magic and lots of great threats, but it's not particularly well set up for this matchup unless they stick a early attacker like a Vendilion Click on turn 3 or something. But now we can just go like Brainstorm plus Brain Freeze and kill them. Sure. Land. Lion's Eye Diamond, and then Brain Freeze. I guess this is better. This just showing the Tinker reveals a little bit more information. Don't play Lion's Eye Diamond me. Now they know. I guess they already know pretty much that we're storing if we're playing Dark Ritual and Brain Freeze and stuff like that. All right, sweet. Very, very smooth start. So, blue-red, mid-range. Click and just like fight against what they're doing fairly well. Repeal seems okay. But what do we not want? Dark Petition is a little bit awkward. I guess interesting. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, Dak Fade. Yeah, cutting the artifact stuff against Dak Fade makes a lot of sense, I think. So we can do it like that, then bring in Deluge to deal with some of their sticky creatures. Seems like a pretty solid build. Lion's Eye Diamond is a little awkward here. Alright. Cutting that for probably just dig. Sweet. Yeah, this seems like a solid build for game 2. We'll see how it goes. This hand is pretty bad, but it can hit land drops, and so we just need to hope that they have a hand like they did last game. Island go, sure. We will follow suit. Definitely want to get the island down to hold a counter magic or counter spell in turn 2 if we draw it. We did not draw it, but that's okay. Playing Drago is fine with me. Honestly, it would be sort of sad if they played Snapcaster Mage end of turn, but they did not do that. Riftwing Cloudscape. Okay, sure. Well, I'm happy to just keep on playing lands. Riftwing Cloudscape is a little bit of a clock, but it's really not that intimidating. Spellseeker. They keep on holding up one island. I don't know if that means they have a Spell Pierce in hand. We haven't seen that yet. but we didn't see their entire deck. Mana Drain, okay, that makes sense. It is going to be a little bit hard to fight through a wall of counter magic here. Ooh, Trinket Mage was a great draw. That holds down the fort on the board very well. Playing around Spell Pierce, I guess. Do we want to just play the Black Lotus or hold it? Probably hold. Yeah, definitely hold with the Mind's Desire in hand. Actually, we could just play... Oh, yeah, we can just play Mind's Desire for 4 this turn. That seems pretty sweet, actually. Good that we did not draw any of our Eldrazi there. So the shields are down. The shields will be up next turn, so we really need to hope that this hits something good. And even if it doesn't, we still have 7 cards in hand. So it's not like we're all in on this working. Okay, so no really busted things, but we got some good stuff. If we could make enough mana for Brain Freeze, that would be lethal, but I don't think we can do that, unfortunately. Our only way to make fast mana this turn is with, Black Lotus is already gone, and then Lion's Eye Diamond doesn't do enough. Although I guess we could get, there's Lotus Petal, and then, oh, and the Dark Petition. Yeah, this works. Wow. Wow, this is a really sweet game. Turn 2 win, or turn 4 win. Repeal seems okay, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Then we play that. That makes us some mana. Doesn't really matter what we get. Sure, Cabal Ritual, just go crazy with the mana. And then Storm Count of 12 on turn 4. Let's go. Wow, what a game. That's pretty sweet. They definitely had a bunch of counter magic in hand. So that was that was a really, really good game. This deck has played much better than I was expecting it to. I'm very, very happy with how it's been playing out so far. So we are 2-0. Very, very good start. I will see you in the finals. All right, here we are for the finals against P-Fizz. We are on the draw, but our hand is pretty good. If we had a Tinker, like an artifact to sack to the Tinker, we could get a really quick Bolas of Citadel here. Let's draw that turn 1, Lotus Petal. Actually, that wouldn't quite do it. Well, they have a lot of mana on turn 1. That's a little scary. But I like seeing Basic Forest as their actual land for the turn. We draw Island, okay. Imagine how busted Dark Ritual would be if it cost 1 blue and made 3 blue mana. That would be really something. Alright, don't like seeing Island there, so we'll see what they have. Hopefully it's not like a Glenlendra Archmage. Oracle, Don't love that either. Sylvan plus Oracle is a pretty sweet combo, so I'll get that online soon, but if we can get Bolas' Citadel down, it shouldn't matter. Alright, well, I guess we just go Island Pass. Really not doing too much over here. They have a Hydroid Krasis on top. Alright, well, I'm happy they don't have a land on top. Honestly, Hydroid Krasis is not that scary. That's if you're going for like a sort of value game, which isn't really the sort of game we're trying to play here. That would be awesome if they didn't have any lands. Alright, looks like they don't. Alright, so next turn we could play Dark Ritual, play Urza, then we have 1 mana left over, so we're 1 mana short of being able to play Tinker. So that's unfortunate. I'm gonna draw a land. I think we need to make a play here. We could just play the Urza. We can also play Jason, bounce the Oracle, or just pass, I guess. But I think it's worth it to play Dark Ritual Jace here. Okay, Urza, I guess, makes some sense. Actually, yeah, this does make sense. The main reason for playing Urza here is that we can play Tinker before playing a land. Actually, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. Yeah. This sets it up well. Yeah, I think this is actually the correct play. Oh, they have a natural order, though. Well, that could be bad. Channel, too. Holy moly. All right, so Yeah, ooh, they could just get a Terrastodon and blow up all our lands here, in which case we would certainly lose. Interesting, they paid no life there. That seems very good for us. Channel Hydroid Crisis is sort of a funny combo. You can pay down to 1 life and then gain a bunch of it back immediately. Alright, looks like they're casting Natural Order. 4 mana, sacking the Elf. We'll see what they have. Terrastodon wins. Woodfall Primus we could probably outrace. Okay, Terrastodon, yeah, that's really bad. So they should definitely blow up all 3 of our lands here. And it's not close, and if they don't do that, that's just straight up a misplay, I would say. Well, that's great for us. We can now play Tinker this turn. Yeah, I really think they should have just blown up our last land there too. That like them getting 3/3 doesn't really accomplish that much, but we'll see. I guess they can pressure our life total such that Bolas the Citadel will be worse than it would normally be. We could also just hit Emrakul right off the top and win. So grab the Bolas the Citadel. There's a counterspell on top. That's sort of funny. We also can actually tap the Bolas the Citadel for mana, although I don't think we'll be doing that here. They have a Through the Breach on top. Okay. Sorry if my face is blocking that. The opponent is really not paying very much life for the Sylvan Library. I think that's a bit of a misplay. We probably should have paid at least 4 life by now. Probably 8 or 12. Cultivate. So we could counter this. Honestly, I actually think it is worth it. We just need to dig towards more powerful cards. Okay, there's an island. That's actually really nice to get rid of since... Or we wouldn't have been able to play that last turn. Okay, they play the birds. They're down to 1 card. If they attack for 9, we'll just chump block with an elephant. They should attack with their... Oh, no. I guess attacking with the elephant doesn't really do much because we can just block with a 1/4. So we'll preserve our life total and then untap with the Citadel. Jace is also amazing with Bolas the Citadel. Oh, alright. Land off the top is not great, so we'll play that. Brainstorm. That is great. That's really, really good, actually. Okay, so we can cast the Lotus Petal for free and then cast Vampiric Tutor to search up whatever we want. That seems phenomenal for us. So we'll do that. Vampiric Tutor, paying 3 life, and then we can grab Ulamog and go down to 2. It's gotta be Ulamog, right? I mean, yeah. There's not really an argument for like Mind's Desire or something, I think. Oh, come on, don't pick Mind's Desire. I don't think that's correct at all. We could just cast Ulamog. I think just casting Ulamog would win. Although I guess playing Mind's Desire is more fun. There's that. But I think we should just get Ulamog. Like, that's probably enough, right? They only have 1 card. I guess they do have red mana now, so if their last card is like a Blight Stealer, something like that, that could be a little dicey, because we will be at a very low life total if we pay 10 life. Wow, alright, we went for Mind's Desire, I guess. I don't think that's the right play. We can play our Jace first, so that's something. We need to make sure to put Mind's Desire back on top here, so we can cast it for free. Hopefully we hit another cheap spell. Okay, so we can play Line's Eye Diamond and then Mind's Desire. So Storm will be 6. Unfortunately, we can't quite make it work so that we also get the Impulse before the Storm. We can play Impulse in response before the Storm trigger resolves, but it'll already be on the stack with a Storm count of 6. But we can Impulse just to take a bad card out of our deck here. Ooh, Black Lotus is nice. We just really want to maximize our chances of hitting one of our Eldrazi here, which is very, very likely. It would be quite unlucky to not hit it, but it's obviously possible. Swamp is a bad start. Emery is also bad. Baleful Search also bad. There's Ulamog on top, but it's gonna shuffle. Oh man. Oh man. One more, come on. Alright, can we still make it work here? We can at least spend Urza a couple times. So that's something. We draw that. There's the Emrakul on top. We play the Preordain. Oh, nice. Sorry, that does it. So we can just play the Brain Freeze and that should end the game. Although they could have an Eldrazi if they're playing through the breach. So that's a little bit scary. I still think we got to just go for the Brain Freeze, though, and hope they don't have it. And then if they do, we probably just die, but then we can just have that knowledge for next game. All right, do you have it? Please don't have it. They're not just conceding, which is a really bad sign, since they definitely should concede if they don't have something that would work. All right, so far so good. Still so far so good. Their deck looks sweet though. Tree Speaker, Raphaelos, so far so bad. We're not just dead though, so we can still win by spinning Urza to hit one of our Eldrazi. That is obviously very unfortunate though that Brain Freeze is not a way to win against them. They have bribery, that's good to know about. It's actually getting funnily close to milling them here. I mean, they don't have that many cards in their deck. So Dark Petition can make us some mana and take another bad draw out of our deck. Yeah, I actually think we're in pretty good shape to win here. Oh, Emrakul is in our hand. That's bad. We are not close to having enough mana for that. We could get to Ulamog this turn with pretty high likelihood. So we can tap Lion's Eye Diamond, Petal, and Baleful Strix for 3, then make... Yeah, we can make a lot of mana here. None of this stuff is good. Actually, Cabal Ritual is good. So then we can play the Ritual. Actually, we can just play Ulamog, or Emrakul this turn, I think. So we make a bunch of mana. Emrakul costs 10. Yeah, we can actually do it without even sacrificing our Black Lotus. That's pretty sweet. Do we want to play the Emery? I don't think so. It just means we're going to mill ourselves too quickly. I guess, yeah, that was unnecessary. There's no need to do that. Although I guess leaving Baleful Strix back to block is okay here. So we cast that. And now I guess we could just spin Urza again and look for an Ulamog as well. That seems like it's probably worth it here. The hand does nothing. Oh, they just conceded that. Sweet. All right. Wow. I really thought we were going to be in bad shape there when the Brain Freeze didn't work, but we can just hardcast Emrakul, I guess. That is awesome. So we want to bring in some of our anti-creature stuff against green. And Sphinx seems okay, but they can go over the top of it pretty easily. Click is okay, Disruption. But what do we not want? Honestly, pretty much everything looks good. I think the Tinker package is good here. I probably just don't need the click. And cutting Emery, I guess that seems fine. Emery's good with Lotus, but it really has sort of underperformed in this league. Also, milling ourselves is a bit of a liability because we actually don't have any ways to shuffle our cards in, and we're really reliant on these two Eldrazi here. Oh, yeah. Without Brain Freeze, we really need these Eldrazi to win, so milling over them is pretty bad. So one more cut. Probably click. I think click is what I would cut here. Yeah. All right. Sweet. It's sort of funny, like watching myself play and being like, man, I really hope I make the right play. I mean, granted, who knows? It's not obviously not a guarantee that I'm smarter now than I was then, but I'm glad that my past self and my current self aligned on that one. This is an amazing hand. We can play turn 1 Urza off the Lotus and then turn 2 Tinker, and that might just win. I mean, it depends. We could also just break and hit a land on top or something, but turn 2 Bolas the Citadel can win a lot of games, especially against the base green deck. Although I guess they could also just go turn 2 Channel something terrifying. So we're both capable of some busted things, but we just need to hope that ours is more busted. Story of Vintage Cube. We really, really don't want to draw Bolas the Citadel this turn. That would be a disaster. So they level up the tree speaker, so they have no interaction available this turn. They could just play like Orphelos or something, which would be a bit scary, but not that bad. Sylvan Library, yeah, definitely not bad there. Not Bolas Citadel. Sweet. Okay. So, yeah, we can start by just hitting for dose. Oh, no, we cannot hit for dose because we want to tap our construct. Hit for Uno. And then we'll go for it. No need to play the Dark Ritual or anything here. What do we got? Well, we know what we're getting for this. Now what do we got? Jace. That is really good. We can bounce the Tree Speaker. Cast that first. Don't want to take the Ulamog for sure. We want that to stay in our deck, but Deluge seems pretty good. Baleful Strix is good. Yeah, we're really doing it here. This is turn 2. Well, we can vamp for... We can't get Ulamog, I guess. Vampiric Tutor is really good with Bolas to set it up, but our life total is a little bit lower than I would like. We could just get Mind's Desire. That seems pretty good, actually. We can search up Mind's Desire. We can tap our Baleful Strix for an island to play Preordain and add to Storm count. We could also just hit, like... Yeah, actually, this was, like, a misplay, actually. We should have played Preordain first. Because we need that to stay on top of our library, so... We missed out on one free Storm. I mean, we can still do it, but it just means we have to top both cards and draw the one that's below the Mind's Desire. Best case scenario would be hitting Brainstorm. Okay, so we'll draw a Counterspell and then put Mind's Desire back on top. Then pay life down to 3 to cast the Mind's Desire. We also still haven't used our Jace. I guess we can just Brainstorm looking for a Lotus or something. We could also bounce the Tree Speaker, but I think the upside in this is high. Oh, man, I really wish we could play that Brainstorm right now. So we put back... I guess we should put back Counterspell, then Mind's Desire, so we can hold up Counterspell as well. Yeah, that's definitely the correct play. Oh, actually, that makes sense too. Dark Ritual. Yeah, that's actually really good. We can Dark Ritual for 0. We can play Dark Ritual and then play Deluge for 0. Or just put the Emrakul back into the deck. I guess that's better, because that doubles the number of good hits we have. Yeah, that's got to be better. So we get 7 looks. We get to see 1/3 of our cards. And there's 2 cards that would pretty much just end the game on the spot. Honestly, none of the other cards we could hit would even be that good at all, but we're going to just hit so many cards. So I think we're pretty favored to win from this position. This is turn 2. That's awesome. We would easily have the win if Brain Freeze was also a kill, but that was not. So that did weaken our win conditions a little bit. All right, what do we got? Lion's Eye Diamond. That's actually not too bad. Academy it's sad to see Academy go. Oh, well, just a lot of lands so far. Wow, that is a lot of lands. Now we can Brainstorm in response to shuffle in some good cards, I guess. But what even is a good card? I mean, this is not great. Jeez. That's actually crazy. We have 6 lands in hand. We've hit 4. I don't really want to just put lands back into the deck to hit with the Mind's Desire. But I also don't want to brick with a Mind's Desire and then just have a bunch of lands in hand. Alright, last hit. Come on. Give us something good. Just one good hit. Lotus Petal. Alright, well, it's pretty bad. That's really, really bad, actually. And we're at 3, so the Bolas Citadel doesn't even do anything anymore. We could use all of our stuff to spin Urza here, but that does not seem worth it. Discard 1 card, and our top of our library is a freaking land. Jeez. Okay, that was... I mean, we can't really complain. We did a bunch of stuff on turn 2, but it's pretty unfortunate that we end up with a board that's just, like, not that... I mean, I guess having Jace, Urza... Yeah, it's still a pretty good board for turn 2, but it should have been a turn 2 win, and I'm sad that it was not. No play from the opponent. That is interesting. Another land on top. Well, that's a lot of lands. We cannot play the Trinket Mage. We could bounce the Derogatory Speaker. No play. Okay, they could have like a Mana Leak or something, but we haven't seen much in the way of counter magic. So hit for 1, leaving back the Baleful Strix to tap for an island. And then we can spin the Urza. I mean, 2 of our 11 cards win the game on the spot, so we need to hope to hit one of those, ideally. Still holding up Counterspell. Wow, we just hit the card that was on top already. I don't think that actually has any more hits left, so that's unfortunate. Sad. So now we just pass holding Counterspell. We're very ahead. Like, it's not like we're behind, but it is very strange to have still not hit any Eldrazi after all of these looks. Alright, they have to do something big here. Because as many times as we have missed, they can't just keep on giving us more looks. Okay, Raphaelos is probably a card we need to bounce with the Jace. But hopefully we can just hit an Eldrazi and win this turn. I don't think it's correct to counterspell this. They do have a lot of mana for next turn, but that's only for now. Another land on top. There's an Emrakul, so cannot cast that because our life total is too low. But we can still spin the Urza here. Alright, well, they keep on just giving us the top card, which last time was annoying, but this time is good. So we get to take their next turn. And then we can also spin Urza again. Alright, sweet. We got there with a Storm Trophy. That was a really, really cool league. I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, this was like, I think this is honestly one of the best Stormwind conditions. Mine's Desire for Eldrazi. It's just more consistent than trying to like always get to storm count 10. Like, if you can win with a storm count of 5, that's a lot more consistent, easier to pull off. So, really, really sweet league. We got the trophy. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it wasn't too much of a detriment to be recording audio later. I do have a few more videos that I've recorded audio for that I need to record, or that I only have video for that I will record audio over later. So, again, hopefully that's not too much of a bummer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.